What's good? Thanks for stopping by Circle M's home here on YouTube. We definitely appreciate you stopping by. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Now, if you have, be sure to hit that arrow button and send it to a friend. I'm sure they'll appreciate this video just the same. Now, we are a small husband and wife woodworking team trying to start a small, we did start a small business, one of those. Started a small business right out of our home shop. We love what we do, we enjoy it. It doesn't feel like we're working a whole lot, except for when the Florida heat comes in, but neither here nor there. The video you clicked on today is one of our top builds. We build a handful of things in our business consistently, regularly, every single week. Then we got about 10 or 15 that we build here and there. We are always trying to add to, grow to, modify, or pivot the business, always trying to look for different revenue streams, which you should be too, but that's probably not why you're here. But we do have some videos like that as far as growing the business, starting the business, what, how, where, when, why, all that fun stuff. But today's video is something completely different. It's our DIY style videos. Like I said, this is one of our top sellers, so if you want to add it to your repertoire of things you offer in your business, or you just want to add a couple in your house, you're in the right place. We filmed this video about 6 or 7 times, cannot find a copy that we like. The one edit that we did, we posted over on our family channel right here, and it did not go over well with viewers. So that's why we're doing this over on our new business channel. So again, subscribe, we definitely appreciate it. Just starting this channel out. We do all kind of stuff. You'll figure this out soon enough, and I do like to ramble a bit, so hopefully you do too. If you don't, go ahead and look in the description. I'm sure there's a timestamp. You can just jump right into the build. So today's video is simple. You are looking to build one of these, or one of these. It is a DIY bifold barn door conversion. Basically, we take a hollow core or a louvered or any wood bifold door, reface it with a 1/4-inch hardwood, add a style or design to make it look like a barn door or any style door, herringbone, slat, whatever you want. Make it look like that, but still function the same as a bifold door. Bifold doors are great in certain areas. They're the only door that will actually work. The reason we do this is because we didn't have room for a sliding barn door. The wife wanted a door. We had a standard bifold in the pantry. Barn door, business built. Not really, but it's one of the ones that started it. So again, we're definitely glad you're here. You're looking to build these doors. Here's the tools that we use to build the door. If you don't have those tools, I'm sure you're super handy. You're going to figure things out because you're here. You can figure out what tools you need to get the job done. Now, you're also going to need some materials. Here's the materials that we went and picked up. Remember, we already had the bifold door from the customer. If you need that, you can buy that too in whatever corresponding size you need to fit your door opening. I think that's right, that's what I said. Anyway, here's what we bought. And now we're going to start on doing some math. Basically, we have to take the door, figure out exactly how wide each panel of the door is, do some math. I like to divide it by 4 or 5 to get the proper design look for a barn door. If you're not building one of these styles, or you're not building a barn door style, you'll have to do some different math and figure out what you're going to do. Today, I am building a framed bottom X for a customer, and that's the door style we're going to do. Framed bottom X. By far our most popular style. We're also going to be covering this in some house-made chalk paint that we mix here in-house. And I don't know why I said it like that. It was just there. So yeah, we're going to take that bifold door, we're going to frame it out into a bottom X, we're going to paint it in some chalk paint, and we're going to lightly distress it for the customer, get it all nice and smooth, and we're going to take and install some new hardware and a few other awesome things at their home. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to grab the door, bring it over to the table, and jump right into the math and build, because there's nothing funner than some math.
Let's go ahead and lay out our doors. I like to use scrap pieces of 2x4 to support the doors and elevate the hinges up off of the work surface. That way it doesn't lay open a bit and run the risk of throwing off your measurements, your gaps, and the overall layout of the doors. Always inspect the doors to see if there's anything that needs to be fixed or repaired before you dive in. This was a customer's door, so we had a few things to repair as well as replace the hardware. The paint was pretty rough on this one. Yeah, we gotta fix that whole corner there. But overall, not too bad of a door. Alright, time to take some measurements. Be sure to get both the width and the height of both sides of the doors. Now you take the widest side of your bifold door and the tallest side of your bifold door and write these measurements down. We're going to base the whole layout on this info. So write it down. Oh wait, write it down? I am. See, there I go. Wrote it down. Wrote that one down too. Now, take the width from the widest side and divide it by the appropriate number of planks you're looking to have on your barn door panel. We went with 5 planks per panel, so that it ended up with 3 inches wide for each plank. So now we're going to need 10 planks at 3 inches wide. You get the idea, right? Your math is not going to be the same as my math. So in order to achieve the proper balance and looks for our barn door stiles and rails, our frame planks are going to be calculated by taking the width of the barn door panel planks that we just got and adding a 1/2 inch to those. That gives us a width of the frame stiles and rails, ended up being about 3.5 inches. Now for the planks that we're going to use to the chosen design, we take the width of the barn door panel planks and subtract a 1/4 inch. For us, that means our design planks will be 2 3/4. Here we go, repairing that corner. First we're going to remove all of the damaged material and repair attempts and get everything nice and smooth and flush as we can here before we go ahead and apply a little bit of glue and then nail in a 1/4 inch piece of hardwood. Smooth all that out. Make sure it sits overnight. It's nice and dry. Then we come out and we just zip that bad boy right off real quick and you're good to go. In prepping the surface, if your door is new or in good condition, this might just mean a light sanding to make sure your adhesive of choice has a better chance of bonding. Now this door was painted by the previous homeowner and using 2 different types of paint with no prep work, and they left us very, very little to work with, so we had a lot of work to do per se. So we sanded and sanded and sanded and finally just decided to sand and sand some more, and then we did a little more sanding. And if you can't tell, we enjoy sanding. Also, be sure to wear your PPE when sanding or using solvents or painting and pretty much anything you're going to do in the shop. Yeah, use your PPE. Protect yourself. See, I'm still sanding up there. Whew. Well, should be about done any time now. Well, let's go. After all the prep work's done, your door's ready for the transformation. We need to go ahead and rip down our sheet goods. We grab our material. In this case, it's a 1/4 inch hardwood plywood. You can use any 1/4 inch or thinner wood to achieve your look. We like using this specific plywood for the grain pattern and the durability. Alright, back to PPE. Please use all available PPE when running any power tools. Alright, here we go. We're ripping down all of our sheet goods into the needed planks. We're going for a final cut list of 10 at 3 inches, 4 at 3.5, 2 at 2 3/4. Now your cut list will vary depending on your specific needs, the size of your door, exactly what you're doing, but it should look something like this. Boom! Sheet goods are now our barn door planks. So let's take this pile and get building, shall we? A few more things to do. Remember those measurements I told you to write down? Guess what? You need them. Take the length of your tallest door, add about 1 inch to that length, clamp your barn door panel planks together, make your mark, head over to your favorite cross-cut machine, give it a chop. For us, I think we cut these panel planks at around 79 inches. Be sure to only cut your barn door panel planks at your needed door length. Leave the frame and the design planks alone. Trust me, do not make this mistake. Don't do it.
Alright, so I'm getting ready to do this next step, and it's a tedious process, and I have not figured out an easier way to do it because a router just tears it up. A sander or a stationary desktop, benchtop sander it's too cumbersome to get these moving back and forth. So this is the easiest, quickest way. If you have an easier way, please let me know. But we take and I sand the edges of each piece of wood that's going to make up the slats on the door, and I sand them all round so they just it's the extra step. It's what Circle and Furnishings does. We go the extra step. So if you don't, you just put your slats together and you're going to have this. And if you hit this with some thick chalk paint, or you hit this with any paint, it's going to fill that in and it's going to look like one door. You may have some spots where you can see, but most of the time it's just going to fill that in and it's going to look like a plain door. You're not going to have your slat look or your plank look. So what we do is we round them over. So we take those and then we round them over. These are 2 scraps. We round them over so when you put them together, you have that nice little, I guess it's not really a chamfer, but round over, and it gives you that look. So even if your paint does get in there, you take your brush and you backstroke it, back roll it, back brush it, and you can get it out of that, and it'll give you the plank look versus just nothing. So maybe that's about right. You get the idea. I'll show you what the finished door looks like.
Alright, here we are, back to sanding, our favorite thing. But now we're sanding the round over onto all of the barn door panels, the frames, and the design planks. I really wish there was an easier way to achieve the same look. If you know something we don't, please let us know, please. We're begging here. Really, see, I got her out here helping, I'm helping. I start hiring the kids to come out here and start helping. It's just nothing but sanding. Over, more sanding, still sanding, and some more sanding. Sanding. Alright, now we have a quick little zip with the router just to level this door up. This door is in rough shape and we wanted to get it perfect for the customer. They needed it, they deserved it, so yeah, we did that. Once everything is sanded and the door is cleared and prepped, we like to lay out the barn door panel planks to find the best look, to triple check the measurements, also to make sure we can cover the door itself. Then we stack up our planks into 2 stacks, 1 on each side of the door. Grab the glue, brad nailer. It's time for some glue and nails. For this step we use Titebond 2 and some 18 gauge brad nails, I think they're about 1 inch. Be sure to spread the glue all over the planks for the great adhesion we're going for. Don't be skimpy on the glue. You hear me? Ever. Don't ever be skimpy on your glue. Now after the first one, the rest are pretty much a breeze. Be sure to push the planks down firmly, but not so much that you squeeze all the glue out. And remember, start from the inside of the door and work your way out. We like to use scrap pieces of 1/4 inch material to put in between each side of the door to use as stops for the barn door panel planks. Now grab your speed square to make sure it's flush on the top. We'll go ahead and use the router to make sure it's flush on at the bottom and pretty much everywhere else. Now you might notice a slight overhang on the outside edge of your door. If so, that means your math was wrong. And it's a good thing we started from the inside edge, right? It also means you're like me and we're going to use a router to flush that thing up. If you don't have a router, that means your sander will be working overtime or your calculator will. Get that math right, I don't have to sand so much. Me, if I get a little bit over, zip it right off like you see me doing with the router. Round and round she goes, hit every single edge of the door. Onto the frame. Take your measurements that you wrote down earlier. Actually, better yet, take new measurements for your length. Now take that measurement, go ahead and cut 2 frame planks over on the miter saw. We like to install the sides or the stiles and then fit the rails in between to achieve the classic barn door look. Same glue and nail method as above. Be sure to add a few extra nails around the area you'll want your handle mounted. Use a speed square to flush up your frame. Take the measurements between the stiles to the edge of the corresponding door and cut the rail pieces to fit over on the miter saw. A little overhang here is fine, just as long as the 2 sides don't touch. We'll use the router again to flush all this up at the end. Once the frame and mid-rail are complete, it's time to add the design. This one's going to be a bottom X, but yours could be just about anything. So this will vary depending on that. Now angles are always fun. For us, we just mark it right from the door using some stops, a straight edge, a speed square, whatever else we can grab to get a straight line. You can see us working that out right here. Now you can use a jigsaw, a miter saw, or any other saw for this cut, but right now we're using a miter saw. It seems to work the best. Now the angle cuts for the middle of the door, and on either side of that X, that's a whole other story. We always pick up a DeWalt oscillating multi-tool for this job. Literally, they're like the best tool. You find the right blade, it's the best. Use it for everything. Undercut and trim, jobs like this, stuff you don't think of, PVC, anything. I used it to do some irrigation. It's crazy. It's a great tool. Great tool. Again, same, just glue and nail method as before for every other plank. After all the planks are installed, we fill each nail hole with wood filler. Let the filler and the glue dry for at least 24 hours. Then we come back out and sand the entire door with 120, then 220. Then we route every edge to get a nice flush round over. Another quick once over with some 220 and clean all the dust off and prep for finishing. Ta-da! This is where you can get crazy. Use whatever you would like to achieve your finished look of choice. For our customer, we went with chalk paint that's mixed right here in-house. We used a chip brush and 3 heavy coats. This is going to be the first step in achieving the rustic, distressed farmhouse look that most of our customers love. Once the paint has had time to fully cure, it's time to break out the sander and some 220 and get a little bit artistic. Whoa, did you catch that? That door isn't a bottom X. Yeah, we know. I forgot to film this for the bottom X door, and we had to use this custom multiple arrow barn door for this part. You can distress it as much or as little as you'd like. You can even apply a sealer over top. Depending on what we do, we use a sealer. But with this chalk paint, it's pretty durable, plus any added marks or dings just gives this distressed door that much more character. We haven't ever sealed our door, and it's been there for 4 years, and it looks great. So that's pretty much it. Install your handle on the correct style on the opening side. We like to split the difference and install it right in the middle, so you have to do a little bit more math. Sorry about that. Then just reinstall your bifold door, adjust it properly, make sure it opens and closes smoothly, and enjoy. Now, we hope this video helped you at least a little bit, and I think this is pretty much the best bifold door video we've done anyway. Let us know exactly what you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. It means a ton to us. Since you're still here, I'm going to go ahead and put a button right over here that you can go and subscribe to our channel, and another one right over here linking to the video we chose just for you. Again, thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks again. God bless.